Hey everyone, so today I just want to talk quickly about run sheets. And if you're not sure what a run sheet is and you're engaged, stay with me on this one. If you have got your run sheet plan, there might be some tips that I'm going to explain that might really help you have the experience on your wedding day that you want. So first off, what is a run sheet? It's pretty simple. It's an itemized timeline throughout the day of a wedding day, let's say. When things are going to happen. So specifically, what time the ceremony is going to happen, what time the reception starts, what time the speeches start, all of that jazz. Now, pretty much all weddings, they always have a run sheet, whether it's a DIY wedding or it's a wedding at a venue. If you do have an on-site coordinator or included in your wedding, obviously they are the first point of contact, generally when you're looking at run sheets planning. But you've probably got heaps of other vendors. You've got photographers, videographers, musicians, MCs, celebrants. A lot of them will want to know your run sheet on your wedding day, not only to provide some feedback on, hey, we would suggest this because of this, etc., but also so they know where they need to be and they can kind of prepare for the day. It's really vital, especially if you want a specific feeling on your wedding day, and what I mean by that, like simply is, if you want a really chilled day and you really want to spend the majority of the time with family and friends, you can really schedule that on your run sheet. I know it sounds crazy, right? But you've probably heard the whole saying is, fuck, weddings go so fast. And they don't have to. Like, they really don't have to. From my perspective, they only go fast when you have a bad run sheet, you haven't got, the vibe that you wanted across to all the vendors, and you haven't scheduled time to slow down. So I'm going to give you my perspective on, my ideal flow of a wedding day. And then you can take it for whatever it is. So first off, what I would suggest, if you prioritize photography and we're looking at this from not only the couple's experience, but also a photographer and videographer's perspective. So if you value that and you want to get beautiful photographs, etc., for us specifically, what we would do, we look at sunset time. And the cool thing about Google or AI is you can put in your wedding date, your wedding location, and say what time is sunset on my wedding day. Let's make it super easy, and let's say sunset is at 5:45 p.m. on your wedding date. Simply from there, what we would do is work backwards, and we would essentially schedule our, let's say, portrait time from around 5 to 6 p.m. There's no way we'd utilize the whole hour, but we believe that it's really important to at least have a buffer, because you don't know if it's going to rain, you don't know what the light's going to be, you don't know if things are going to run late. And I think it's really vital that if you schedule an hour, you've got some time before sunset, some time after sunset. If it rains, you've got a bit of a window to shuffle. If the light fades out and it's 5:40, awesome. Maybe you might enter reception at 5:45, not 6. So for us, it's really important being flexible on that shift, but making sure you do not have run sheets falling either pre or post sunset. That's really important, I believe anyway, as a creative. And then just working backwards from there. So let's say we went 4:45, we'll start our photo shoot type thing. And then what's going to happen before that? Well, do you guys want to enjoy canapes with family and friends? What? We get to? Yeah, you get to. Do you want to listen to the live musician that you paid for? What? Yes. Do you want to? Of course we want to. Okay, cool. Well, why don't you have from 4 to 4:45 just to chill out, have a drink, have some food, listen to music. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay, cool. All right. And now then we work back from there. Okay, how long do group and family photos take? Oh, they only take 10 minutes or so, but maybe let's overestimate and say 30 minutes. Okay, cool. Well, that's 3:30 then we can start that. Oh, well, how long's our ceremony? 30 minutes. Oh, amazing. So if we do our ceremony at 3, that gives us, 3 to 3:30, ceremony finished, bit of hugs and congrats, finish group and family photos, all that jazz to 4, and then we get a kick back and chill out with our family and friends. That's amazing. And then when we get to do photos, we can just be guided by the photographer or videographer on the wedding day. Then we enter into reception. Every reception is different. Like I said, your coordinator is the point of contact here. There's chefs, there's caterers, there's so many things happening behind the scenes, not just the photographer. So first off, disclaimer, speak to them. But as a creative, I think it's really cool walking straight into reception and getting your speeches out of the way. So many times after doing this for over now a decade, I see guests seated at reception for hours sometimes, reading their speech, reading their notes, just pacing, not having fun, not relaxing until it's done. And then they come up and say, oh my God, I'm so glad that's finished. Now I can relax. So maybe think about that. You know, some people do get really nervous, and sometimes it's really nice just walking in, maybe sit down or have an entree and then just get all your speeches done. Not up, down, 5 rounds of speeches. You will feel like the day is a formality-driven wedding day. I'm not to say you don't want that. You might actually want that. But if you don't want that and you want the rest of the night maybe to just be a bit more of a, you know, cocktail hour or mingle and chill and dancing, well then get your speeches done. Have your food. Soon as food's finished, get the rest of your formalities done. Cake cutting, first dance, that's it. Where else do I want to go for this one? It's not really that common these days now. Couples are doing like an official exit, like a sparkler exit. It's not for everyone. It is for some. Again, I can only speak from my perspective of seeing, you know, 1,000 weddings or so. I don't think it's a great way to exit your wedding. I don't think it's a great way to thank people for coming. I don't think it's even a great photograph or video. I personally think the best way forward is just enjoying the rest of the night and just knowing that you can just go where you feel. If you're feeling overwhelmed, hold hands, go for a walk. If you're feeling like vibing and dancing, just keep going. You know, don't wait around for another formality. That's my perspective. So that's really my tips for run sheet planning. If we are photographing or doing video for you guys' wedding, obviously we are here for you. If we're not and you're feeling stuck, just hit us up. It's so easy for us to get back to you. But like I said, I think it firstly starts coming down to the vibe that you want. So you need to talk about, hey, what do we want on our wedding day? What do we want to feel the most of? Then the run sheet can just fall into place. Then speak to your photographer or videographer. Hey, what time do you guys prefer photographing at this location or that location? We love photographing between these hours. Amazing, cool. Now we're going to work forward and back from there to facilitate the correct run sheet. So we're getting the most value and the thing that we prioritize, which could be photo and video. Or, hey, left field, not to say that everyone prioritizes that. Some love live music. I personally do. And I've been to weddings before where they've prioritized that. That is their key. And you know, a really cool idea, if you really, really want something different and you prioritize live music, maybe have a musician and a little bit like of a show. So maybe you enter into reception and the seats are all set up and there's a stage there and you're actually sitting down and watching a set from a musician that specializes in that type of, you know, art. So just something a little bit different. Not all formalities have to be traditional wedding formalities. I've been to weddings before where they had a tattooist and everyone got tattoos, including me. Yeah, that was interesting, but fun and hurtful and sore. So anyway, you feel free to break the norms, enjoy your wedding day, know what you want and go and get it.